Hey Dragons, I want to start this week off by saying that I am so proud and legitimately impressed by the music that you guys are producing in Soundtrap. I'm ready to start pushing you a little bit further, and this week we are going to start completing our songs by writing lyrics to them. This week, you students will be able to write lyrics for a hook to your song and then record them into your projects. Now, just remember that when we write these songs, we have to kind of take an outside approach and then zoom in. And today we're going to do that by thinking about the thesis of your song. The thesis of your song should be a short statement that summarizes the main idea of your song. And then in later weeks, we will develop them in the verses that we write. And of course, the chorus or the hook of the song is the part that is often associated with the song's true meaning or the song's thesis. And it's the part of the song that often gets stuck in your head. So, this week, before we write lyrics, we have to understand exactly what we want them to do. We could have lyrics that tell exactly and literally the story. We could write lyrics that leave it open for interpretation, maybe let the listener decide what the story is. Or we could write lyrics that make the listener really think and wonder what the story is about. So, this week, I need you to know what the function of a hook is in pop music, and I want you to be able to write a hook that is short, concise, and memorable. First, we have to start by thinking about the song's thesis. So this is that panned out approach. Now, the thesis of your song is the main idea of your song. And to be a great songwriter, you have to have a specific idea of what your song is about. It is not enough to say that this song is happy or this song is sad, or it's not enough to say that this song is a love song or this song is really hype. You need to know what exactly makes your song stand apart from all others. And your song's thesis should either pose a question, paint a picture, or make a bold statement, if not all three. Now, not only should you consider what your song's main idea is, but you should also consider how your listener will receive that idea. This is really important. Not only are you writing out what you think your song is about, but you need to think strongly about how your listener will hear that idea. What metaphors, similes, cultural references, idioms will connect your idea to your listener? It's kind of like being a teacher. Now, not only do I need to know exactly what I'm trying to teach, but I also need to know exactly how you students will receive that idea. So, this week, in your lyric writing, I want you to consider not only your story, but how your audience will hear it. We're going to start by talking about a hook. And before we do that, I want to talk about why we call it a hook. Now, writing a song and being a musician is kind of like fishing. I know this is a weird analogy to make, but it's actually really, really pertinent. You make art and you throw it out into the world and you kind of hope people will bite on it. You hope that people will think it's good enough to consume. And that's how you make it as a musician, is you just throw ideas out into the world and you hope that they come back to you. The same is true for fishing. Just like in fishing, you first have to know exactly what kind of fish you want to catch. In our case, that fish is a listening audience. And just like in fishing, you have to know exactly what kind of bait. And there are tons of different kinds of bait to use. You need to know exactly what kind of bait will be the most attractive for your listening audience. So, writing lyrics can be a little bit overwhelming. And a common misconception is we don't, as songwriters, we don't actually usually start with the first words of the song. Where we start is with the hook. Now, right now you're looking at lyrics from Bruno Mars's When I Was Your Man. And the arrangement is actually very familiar. It's verse, chorus, verse, chorus. But I want you to think, what part of this song is the most memorable? The most memorable part of this song is now my baby's dancing, but she's dancing with another man. This is the hook of the song. Now, let's piece this apart a little bit. Let's think about this hook. Bruno Mars is tortured by the fact that the person he loves is happy. And in this way, he is not saying the person I love is happy. He's saying, now my baby's dancing. He's using the word dancing to convey the idea of happiness. But not only is she happy away from him, but she's happy with someone else. She's dancing with another man. And so Bruno Mars is saying a lot more in this brief little simile. He's saying that he is being tortured by the fact that the person he loves is happy with someone when he himself could not bring her that same happiness. So I want you to start thinking about things that you do or have seen or experience in the world around you, and start bringing that into your thought process as far as writing a hook is concerned. The other day I was driving down the kind of a back road out near the mountains, and I saw this bridge. And on this bridge, there's tons of graffiti. But I noticed one piece of graffiti right off the bat, and it was at the very top, and there were two names, Ryan and Megan. And I was thinking to myself, man, Ryan or Megan put themselves in great peril in order to write their names in spray paint right next to each other. And I was thinking about how deeply personal that is to put it on a big open public space like that. And I also thought about how dangerous it would be to have to get up on a bridge with a can of spray paint and try to write your name. So I've been thinking, wow, that would make a really great lyric for a hook. Instead of saying, I love you very much, you could say something like, this is how I want to live. I should get some paint and spray your name on a bridge. Try to use something that your listeners might recognize. Try to think of things that like you yourself have seen in the world and inject those ideas or images into your lyrics. And I want to just say that this hook is only 19 words long. It's very short. You can also write a very short hook. So in just a second, I'm going to ask you to pause this video and make a list of 4 possible hooks. That should be anywhere from 10 to 20 words long. And I want you to type them into the chat screen of Soundtrap. Again, you're going to write 4 different possible hooks using ideas from your thesis and spinning other ideas from things that you have seen or experienced into that thesis to make a list of 4 possible hooks that you could record in your song. You must type those into Soundtrap. You will be graded on this. Pause the video. Go. Okay, now you're ready to record yourself singing or rapping your favorite hook into your song. This is going to be a process, and please be patient with yourself. I also want to state that this does not need to be perfect. You're going to be using the microphone on your computer, which is actually a pretty high quality microphone. And there's going to be a lot of things that we can do with your voice after you're done recording it to make sure it sounds just the way you want it. First, we're going to watch this short little video to help you know how to record your voice in Soundtrap.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Soundtrap. In this tutorial, we'll go through every step when recording with a computer mic or an external mic via an audio interface. You'll learn how to avoid common mistakes and get all of the answer to our most common user questions. Let's start in the studio. Here we have a song. It sounds good so far, but we want to add some vocals to spice it up. The first thing we do is click Add New Track, then Voice plus Microphones. Then we go to the Sound Setup in the Settings menu. After you've done that, this question probably pops up. Even though you can record without headphones, we strongly recommend you use a pair if you've got any. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Even a pair of cheap in-ears will do. With headphones, you can hear the previous recorded tracks and yourself while recording without getting an acoustic feedback. Back to the sound setup. In this case, we choose the built-in microphone as our input device. Next step is to sing as loud as you will be during the recording, preferably a bit louder. Sound setup helps you avoid distortion while singing loud, and background noises when singing quiet. We recommend you to take your earphones off while doing this, to avoid having yourself screaming into your own ears. Now we enable monitoring in the settings menu. Now you can hear yourself and the previously recorded tracks while recording. You just have to click the mute button on the tracks you wish not to hear. Up next is this view. Here you'll find a lot of different creative presets to choose from. This one, for example, will enhance the sound when you record with the built-in microphone on your computer. There's also one for when you record with your phone. You'll get a reverb using this pop setup. You'll also find the reverb control here. Adding reverb will make it sound as if though you've been recording in a big hall, a large empty room, or a cave, if you will. If you're about to record a speech, you might choose the dry preset. Next to the reverb, you'll find the pan control. That lets you decide if you want the sound a little bit to the left or a little more to the right. When you're ready to record, make sure the recording button is enabled. Wait for the count in, and then sing. To stop the recording, press the stop button or the space bar on your keyboard. That's it.
All right, so I know this feels a little bit daunting. And again, I just want to be very clear that this is going to take courage, but I also am very confident that you are all very capable of not only writing beautiful lyrics, but recording yourself in a beautiful way. So, in just a second, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, add a voice and microphone track to your project, place your playhead at measure 17, which is right where the chorus starts, and record yourself either singing or rapping the lyrics of your hook. Before you do this, I am going to take the lead and be a little bit vulnerable. I'm going to share 2 separate hooks that I recorded over the weekend. The first one is the hook that you just heard. I wrote down a bunch of different ideas from, and I even listed some ideas on my screen of other hooks that I like. I went to measure 17, added a voice and microphone track, and I recorded myself recording this hook.
Yes, this is how I wanna live. I should get some paint, spray your name on a bridge. I could stay, give it everything that I got. It's a shame that I'll be leaving, but believe it or not, I mean it, yes. This is how I wanna live. I should get some paint, spray your name on a bridge. I could stay, give it everything that I got. It's a shame that I'll be leaving, believe it or not, I mean it.
So, I want to point out that I only recorded this once. And this is all you should do. You should only record your vocals on measure 17 once, because after that, we are going to copy and paste them into the other choruses. So that was an idea of how to maybe rap a hook into your song. Here's another idea of how to sing a hook into your song. This is like a little bit more of a pop vocal idea. So, you might notice that my voice sounds really crazy and kind of overproduced. The way that I achieved that was by clicking on the mic icon, and then I went through and I picked from the preset list of different vocal choices that you can make. I chose the pop one since I decided this is a pop song. And then I also clicked on the audio region itself. I clicked edit, I went to auto tune, and I did a heavy amount of auto-tuning on my voice in order to kind of give it that like overproduced, almost electronic vibe. So ladies and gentlemen, just one more time, after you are done typing the 4 hook ideas into the chat screen of Soundtrap, you are then going to add your voice, recording your favorite one of those 4. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen, and I cannot wait to hear what you come up with. I love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.